Oh my goodness, guys, we only have 2 more episodes left of Pit Babe, including this one. The next episode is the last one. And y'all, it has been a long road, but here we are on episode 12, y'all. And the juice in the series is still running hot, so I'm excited. I am very interested to see what this episode has in store. What are the boys about to do? How are they going to get Tony? Will Babe and Charlie reunite? Will they stop drinking? Will Kenta kill Pete? What is going on? Let's jump right into it. This episode starts off with a sweet flashback of Pete and Kenta when they were younger back at Tony's house. They were friends for a while, like years. And it looks like Kenta was super in love with Pete. Look at those love eyes he is making at Pete while they're sitting on those stairs, y'all. Go take a look at that scene. Then Kenta sweetly leans in for a kiss right as Pete turns his head, and then their lips touch. And Pete, he smiled slightly, but Kenta must have been embarrassed, so he ran away. Oh my goodness, the scene was actually nicely done. Like, beautiful high school boy crush while trapped in a dystopian society in a dystopian fucked up place. Pete and Kenta could have really grown into something beautiful if the circumstances were were favorable to it, you know? But then we quickly snap back into reality. We get pulled back to where we left off in the last episode where Kenta and Pete were fighting each other in Pete's home. Kenta is trying to kill Pete, but Wade kicks Kenta off of Pete. Like, wait, where was the strength when Charlie and Babe were fighting you and kicking your ass back a few episodes ago, okay? Anyway, Kenta runs away and Wade was about to go after him, but Pete stops him and is like, no, don't do it. Kenta was just following Tony's orders. Meanwhile, I'm sitting over here like, yes, Wade, go get him. Protect your rich baby daddy. Damn. Ugh, but now we got this messy little love triangle with these 3. Shit. But next comes our favorite character who is present in all type BLs, the giant Q-tip. And you know what my theory is? Giant Q-tip equals lovers. So Wade and Pete must be partners because they officially got the partner/lover stamp. The big Q-tip. Oh yes. Rich baby daddy mode on. So Pete told Wade that he and Kenta are like brothers, and he still believes that. No matter if Tony comes in between them. Pete admits that he wants to get Pete out of that house just like he wants to get Wade out of that house as well. And Wade, he's like, you can't help me. Pete touches Wade on the shoulder and said, I know you want to do the right thing. You just don't know how to defeat Tony. And Wade was like, you read my mind? So here we figure out Pete's powers, because remember, Pete is also an enigma just like Wade. Pete can read minds. Pete doesn't really like using his powers unless he absolutely has to. And I've noticed a lot of the boys don't really like using their special gifts. Like Jeff, for example, he thinks it's going to hurt people. And even Babe struggles with his, you know. They were abused, so that plays a role in why most of Tony's kids, quote unquote, don't use or like to use their gifts. They were exploited since they were little. And probably using their skills just reminds them of every little bad thing that Tony is and did and is currently doing to those children in his care now. And to them, like the older ones. But back to Pete and Wade. I love how Pete encourages Wade to do what he knows is right without fear. He constantly reminds Wade that he does have a choice. He isn't stuck and he isn't hopeless, and he, as a human, have a right to choose good versus bad. Next scene, we have Tony berating Kenta, saying the children he found was useless. And so Kenta tries to, plead his case. He's like, well, if we train them, then they could be good. And Tony said that he can't do anything with those trash children. Special children are born with their abilities. Look how many years I've been trying to train you. Diabolical. Okay? Tony is diabolical for telling Kenta that. Like, Tony is absolutely bullshit and ass cheeks. How are you gonna be so abusive to your children? And like, they're human beings. What? Ooh, words can't describe. Tony basically called Kenta trash and useless in one breath. Then Tony thought of an idea of who he could use to sell, since the children that Kenta brought was allegedly useless and not good to sell to the rich and powerful. Then we cut to the scene of Jeff and Alan in the bed together after bang, bang, banging. And y'all, Jeff is so damn happy. His cherry was just popped by Alan. I mean, like, who wouldn't be, like, giddy and happy about that? So Jeff decides to go outside of Alan's house, reminiscing on someone goody. But fine-ass Kenta quickly scratches that out of his head and shows up behind him with a knife and takes Jeff away. He kidnapped Jeffy. Y'all, I don't know what Tony means by Kenta is useless and ineffective, because this man is everywhere and he's getting shit done. I just wish that he would use his powers for good instead of bad. Kenta, I believe he's another one who needs a redemption arc. And did y'all see the arms on that man? Like, did y'all look at Kenta Ken body? Like, he is so whoa. Wait. Do I like Kenta? It's always the bad boys, isn't it? Good God. That's how I suss them out. That's how I suss out who's the bad guys. Because I end up liking them. And North and Sonic are always feeding each other. Oh, and Babe is still at Alan's house as well, because remember, they all want to live together to protect themselves. He noticed that something is still off with his senses, though, so let's keep that in mind as well. So Alan is looking for Jeff, notices the teacup that he left on the table, and he also knows that Jeff isn't answering the phone that he had gave him. Because remember, well, I didn't say this, but Kenta, he threw the phone out the window. Well, he didn't throw it. He gave it to like some randoms on the side of the street. So Sonic shows Alan how to track Jeff's phone, and it leads them to these three guys that Kenta gave the phone to. The boys take off just running as soon as they see X-Hunter pull up and show up, okay? The guys were like, why are y'all running? So the boys, they were like, telling them the guy in the car had gave it to us. The guy in the van gave it to us. The guys, or an ex-hunter, concluded that Jeff was kidnapped by Tony. Ooh, and the next scene, Pete makes Babe and Wade meet. And I was feeling so awkward about the whole thing, because the last time those two met, like, Babe was putting hands on Wade. And then the time before that, Wade was raping Babe. I say raping. He was attempting to wreck. Wade was basically like, I'm here to help. And Babe was like, I can't believe you. You were with Tony for 10 years and now you want to change your mind? You are out of it. And Wade said, yeah, I was weak. I hurt a lot of people, including the person I love the most, which is Babe. And then good old Pete, he's like, my senses tell me that he's telling the truth. Also, Wade is the only way to get your goal of defeating Tony done. And y'all, for Pete and Wade to be kind of having a budding relationship, for Pete to hear Wade say that he loves Babe, I was kind of still feel a bit awkward with it, because I'd be like, okay, well, I like you and you love him. I don't know, it's another weird little love triangle that is going on as well. It's so many of these. Because I do believe there's a love triangle between Sonic, North, and a little bit of Kimmy. But maybe that's just in my hopes and dream. Anyway, Babe with his ever-present eye roll. He was like, fine, but this is the last time I work with you, Babe. So the three of them discuss evidence that they have and that they also need against Tony. Pete said that they need proof that Tony is getting paid for the kids. Wade said, oh, you won't find that because he's not getting paid in cash. He's getting real estate through a company as compensation. He's getting it through the T-World company, which happens to be the same company that Tony used to cheat Babe's father out of all of his money. So next we see Kenta meeting with Jeff, telling Jeff, if you are going to run away from this home again, you need to run far away so we can't get you. Then we see that the last time that Jeff had escaped, Kenta actually helped him escape. He helped him out and told the guards that, oh, he went one way and Jeff really went another way. Redemption arc, Kenta? ? Kenta said, I can't help you this time, but if you are thinking about doing something, do it quickly. That's what he told Jeff while Jeff was tied up. But, no! We see Tony watching Kenta and Jeff on the surveillance video, and I think he heard their whole conversation. Y'all, please protect Kenta and please protect Jeffy. Like, even though one is way more deserving of the other, Kenta might be in danger now that he's caught colluding with Jeff, allegedly. In the next scene, Babe is totally against Pete asking Kenta to join them. Pete truly believes that Kenta will turn against Tony, and maybe he might be right. Babe doesn't think so, and when Kenta shows up, he proves Babe right at the moment, because Kenta can always surprise us and turn on Tony. Babe tells Kenta, think about the children, and lets Kenta know that he has a choice. And just like Pete tells Ray he has a choice, and Ray chose to go with ex-Hunter and the good guys, Kenta has a choice as well. Kenta, however, still chose Tony. So after the meeting, Kenta goes back and tells Tony about his meeting with Pete, Babe, and Ray. And you know how Tony decides to repay Kenta's loyalty? By beating him, calling him useless, and questioning his loyalty to him. He tells Kenta the most nastiest things, and y'all, I hated this scene so much. Okay, Tony tells Kenta, you have no value to me. I raised you like a dog, and the most fucked up one, I am not your father. Then fucking Winner comes into the room, and Tony basically gives him all of Kenta's duties. Like, he is now in Kenta's spot as Tony's right-hand man. Then we see Ray using his powers to get some bag. We rarely get to see Ray use his powers, actually. We only see it that time he's trying to get over on Babe. And a few times with Charlie as well. But Ray is quickly intercepted because Winner hops out of the vehicle and a fight ensues between Ray, a random Winner, and Babe, because Babe, he showed up too, just kind of halfway's back. Then they get away, Babe and Ray, but I did not see them get into the vehicle with the bag, so I don't think that their plan worked. Babe goes back to Alan's house, and they are wondering what happened. North asks if he and Ray reconciled. Babe said that he and Ray have a temporary truce. Then Pete and Ray walk into Alan's house, letting the guys know that Tony is hosting a charity auction tomorrow. And the number one product is someone who could see the future. And we all know who that is. It's Jeffy, baby. In the next scene, Winner lets it slip that Babe has his senses back, unbeknownst to Tony. And after he found out, it looked like his gears and his brain were spinning. And you know, in Tony's brain, it's going to be something nefarious. Is he going to try to steal and sell Babe? I think so. Then we have a little something between Babe and Ray. Ray asks, is it possible that you and I could ever go back to who we were before? He is still desperate for this relationship, and I'm like, no, Ray, I understand you still want him as your best friend. I get it. You will never have him as your lover. And you have a rich baby daddy right beside you. I cannot wait. Anyway, Babe was like, maybe, but it's not going to be anytime soon that we'll ever be back to the way that we were. And I get it. Like, you are my friend and you betrayed me, and on top of that, you tried to get my goodies. At Uncle Rebel's house, Charlie sees a photo of Babe and he's like, what the fuck? Is he working for Tony? Then he finds a whole book of Babe, and he was little and all the accomplishments that Babe had throughout his life, just like a scrapbook of Babe. When Uncle Rebel walks in the room, he's like, man, what the fuck? But Uncle Rebel reveals that he is Babe's daddy. He is a real daddy. Wow. The auction of Tony's start, and it makes it look like they are selling art, but in actuality it's the children who are being sold. We see Jeff sitting with the other kids about to get sold, but ex-Hunter bursts in that thing and starts taking people out, just biting, knocking people. And Tony, he lets Pete and Ray into the auction, and Pete is like, you didn't mind us coming in, right, Daddy? So we see Pete call Tony Daddy here. Then Baby's still fighting, and when he was about to get shot, guess who pops out the woodwork to save the day? His baby Charlie. Oh, just got spicy. Whew. Alright, guys, so we only have one more episode left. Like, what is going to happen? There's so much going on right now. Like, will Kenta switch sides? Will Ray and P be in danger? Will they save the kids? Are Sonic and Art gonna be a trouble with Kimmy? Will they get the evidence that they need to convict Tony? And how will Babe act knowing that his baby, Charlie, is back from the dead, baby? Hopefully we find out all of this in the next episode. I will see y'all in the next video. And if you want to be a dog, go guard downstairs. Y'all, I can't wait to see what Kenta does next.